Wei Wuxian never expected to encounter Jiang Cheng during the night hunt. Today, he went out night hunting with Lan Wangji, Yiling, and 2 young men of the Lan family. Originally, it had been a very carefree and pleasant outing. Yiling, unaware of Wei Wuxian's memory loss, treated him as usual. Although he seemed somewhat reluctant, he would still be the first to think of Wei Wuxian when something happened. Because of his impaired memory, Wei Wuxian tried to hide his anxious heart, fearful of saying the wrong thing. But he was naturally good at dealing with young people. After only a few words, he quickly felt at ease and had no more reservations. Since last time he had been too eager to take credit, this time Lan Wangji specifically reminded him in advance to give the younger ones more chances to prove themselves. Wei Wuxian understood this, but momentarily couldn't grasp the right balance as skillfully as before his amnesia. So he let the youngsters take the lead and went up the mountain himself, with Lan Wangji secretly protecting them. Unexpectedly, Yiling became careless and fell into danger. Wei Wuxian rushed out fiercely ahead of Lan Wangji, striking out Swebian. The sword light flashing red swiftly defeated the clawing evil spirit, but after that, he collided with a purple light. Wei Wuxian's pupils shrank suddenly. He instantly became alert, thinking it was an enemy attack. Looking up sharply at the newcomer, his gaze met this uninvited guest. The moment he recognized him, his heart seemed to halt. "Jiang Cheng," he said in disbelief. Jiang Cheng did not know Wei Wuxian was coming. Concerned for Yiling, he had secretly inquired about his whereabouts and followed. They had taken different paths up the mountain, so the 2 groups didn't run into each other until now. Seeing Wei Wuxian was a surprise to Jiang Cheng, but nowhere near as shocked as Wei Wuxian. What to say? What to do? Before Wei Wuxian could fully react, Lan Wangji swiftly moved in front of him, and Jiang Cheng neatly sheathed purple lightning, and, with a calm tone, said to Lan Wangji, "Han Guangjun." Lan Wangji responded with a cool salute. "Clan leader Jiang." Only now did Wei Wuxian finally understand why Lan Wangji had not wanted to let him join the youngsters' night hunting. It wasn't a question of his ability, but a fear he would run into. In Wei Wuxian's fragmented memory, their previous meeting had been a staged duel for show. But according to Lan Wangji, after that, the 2 had truly severed ties. Yet, even so, hadn't it been over 10 years? If they hadn't met, it would have been better. But since they had, there was no way to avoid it. Suddenly, a flicker of hope rose in Wei Wuxian's heart. It was often said that when 2 people were estranged, sometimes it just took one side to make the first move, to ease the awkwardness. Thinking this, he stepped forward from behind Lan Wangji and greeted, "Jiang Cheng." Jiang Cheng glanced at him, his brow twitching slightly, but showed no other expression. No goodwill, no resentment. Just like he had saluted Lan Wangji, Jiang Cheng gave Wei Wuxian a casual nod and said, "Wei Wuxian, what a coincidence." Wei Wuxian replied, "Yes, quite a coincidence." Jiang Cheng's tone was awkward as could be. Trying to ignore the tension, Wei Wuxian said, "Since we've met, shall we go have a drink together?" Jiang Cheng looked at him suspiciously, as if trying to read something from his face, then said, "No need. I have things to attend to soon." His gaze then fell on Yiling. Yiling shot him a disgruntled glare, as if questioning why he refused. Jiang Cheng raised his hand as if to swat him, and Yiling quickly ducked his head, but Jiang Cheng silently withdrew his hand. Wei Wuxian clenched his fists unconsciously and wanted to say more, but Lan Wangji discreetly pulled him back behind himself. Jiang Cheng had already turned and left. The youngsters gathered around looking at each other, seeming to know more than Wei Wuxian himself. They tacitly agreed not to mention what had just happened, as if Jiang Cheng had never appeared at all. They left and then continued with whatever they were supposed to do. Once they all left, Lan Wangji said to Wei Wuxian, "Let's go." Lan Wangji took one of Wei Wuxian's hands and pulled him up. Wei Wuxian walked forward a few steps in a daze before suddenly asking, "Why did you stop me just now?" With his back to him, Lan Wangji's expression was unreadable, but he didn't avoid the question. "You had a fierce argument with him. There's no need to say more to him now." Wei Wuxian still wasn't fully satisfied and asked, "Did it happen before I was sacrificed or after?" This time, Lan Wangji paused, seeming hesitant to tell him, then said, "It was during these past 2 years. Wei Wuxian gave a dry, "Oh," as if he had lost his obsession and didn't press further. Jiang Cheng's appearance made the originally lively atmosphere feel a bit strange, but fortunately the night hunt ended without incident. The evil creatures were successfully eliminated, and none of the young men were injured. However, on their way down the mountain, the weather took a turn for the worse, and a fierce rainstorm came pouring down. Everyone hurriedly rushed out from the trees, their clothes muddy and wet. Lan Wangji stayed close to protect Wei Wuxian, and though he was usually very clean, he ended up the most soiled. Wei Wuxian felt sorry watching this and initially wanted to tell him he didn't have to go through that. But when his eyes fell on Lan Wangji's sleeve, he thought of something and said nothing more. At the inn, the warm-hearted landlady quickly arranged hot water for everyone to bathe. Before Lan Wangji could speak, Wei Wuxian shouted to the innkeeper to prepare a room for both of them. When the bathwater was brought up, he voluntarily excused himself, saying he was going to find Yiling to play, and told Lan Wangji to bathe first. When he left, he closed the door firmly and did go to Yiling's room. But after exchanging a few trivial words, he jumped out of the windows of the room amid the puzzled looks of the young men. Wei Wuxian stepped nimbly on the protruding eaves outside the inn, made a few leaps, and stealthily returned to the windows of his and Lan Wangji's room. Hearing sounds of water inside, he quietly poked a hole in the paper window with his finger. The reason was that Wei Wuxian suspected Lan Wangji was hiding some things from him, who had lost the memory. As the saying went, once dead, everything ended. If, as Lan Wangji said, senior sister only died accidentally in the chaotic fight, why had Jiang Cheng remained unable to speak a word to him even after all these years? Although he had lost his memory, Wei Wuxian instinctively felt that Lan Wangji's evasiveness about that chaotic fight was somehow related to his resolute avoidance whenever he tried to bathe. Wei Wuxian leaned against the window and peered through the hole. Lan Wangji had indeed removed his clothes and entered the bathing tub. A thin mist curled over the surface, but it didn't prevent Wei Wuxian from clearly seeing the man sitting in the water, slightly turned toward him. Wei Wuxian's gaze seemed irresistibly drawn, initially focusing on Lan Wangji's chest. As expected, he saw the Wen clan's branded mark there. His breath caught and his heart twitched painfully. That mark, surely related to him in some way, ruined the aesthetic harmony of the man's chest. Yet, Wei Wuxian stared blankly at Lan Wangji for quite some time. When Lan Wangji moved slightly, Wei Wuxian suddenly snapped out of it. "Wait, I'm not secretly looking because I'm lusting after Lan Zhan's body." Gathering himself, he forced his attention elsewhere. From the neck, collarbone, chest, waist, to the part under the water, everything seemed fine. Wei Wuxian wondered aloud, maybe I'm just overthinking. At that moment, Lan Wangji reached out seemingly to get a towel and shifted his body more sideways. Just as Wei Wuxian was about to look away, a sudden, fierce scar on Lan Wangji's turned shoulder back unexpectedly caught his eyes. No, there wasn't just one scar, but 2, 3, 5. So many scars Wei Wuxian couldn't count them at once. Wei Wuxian was completely shocked, so much so that he gripped the windowsill tightly until it made a cracking sound. Lan Wangji inside the tub suddenly looked up sharply.